everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be giving you some updates on a bunch of new makeup that I tried in the past few months. Most of this makeup I did videos about, like first impressions, but I just wanted to update you and tell you what my thoughts are after using them a few more times. Because a first impression doesn't always tell you everything you need to know. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm very excited about it. Let's get right into the video. So if you haven't been on this channel before, my name is Marley and I love making YouTube videos about makeup and beauty. I love doing looks, swatches, reviews, will I buy it videos. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe. I usually upload about 2 to 3 videos a week and I would love to see you again on my channel. So before I did a video where I ranked everything that I had tried, but sometimes I feel like that's not entirely fair. It's sometimes a bit difficult to rank all different kinds of products like brushes and blushes and highlighters and eyeshadow palettes. Sometimes it's hard to compare them. So what I did in this video is kind of make 3 categories. One of the categories is like, it's okay, but I kinda don't like it as much. Then we have the category it's good, and then we have the category that's like, these are so nice, they're my favorites, I love them. So I'm just gonna go through every category, but within that category I haven't really ranked anything. But we'll see as we go, maybe I can say some things about what I like the most or the least, or it's just gonna be a little bit less structured than that previous video. So in the bottom category I actually have 4 products, and some of these products I gave quite a good review at first. Like in my first impressions I was kind of positive about them. Let's start with the Natasha Denona Mini Love. I tried this in a first impression video and I was actually quite into it. I was quite positive, but I have to be honest with you. I like the mattes. The mattes are good. I liked working with them. They're pigmented. They are a little bit different on the eye than in the pan. Well, the darker one looks like it does in the pan on the eye, but the lighter one is definitely a lot warmer. And I think a lot of people will like that, but that doesn't look the best on me always. What really doesn't make this palette a favorite is the shimmers. I feel like the 2 like normal shimmers are quite dry. They don't really make an impact. They don't really go onto the eyes very well. I just didn't love them. They are fine, but there are so many better shimmers out there and I was expecting better from Natasha Denona. Then we also have this shimmery duochrome shade. That's also just fine, but there are so many better duochrome shimmery formulas that I have in other palettes that I have from cheaper brands. I just didn't love this one because it just didn't live up to my expectations. I still love the Mini Glam a lot more than this one. With the Mini Glam, when I got that one, I was like, oh, it's nice, but I didn't think it was anything special. And then I kept grabbing for it and I kept using it. But after I felt like I had used this enough to know what I thought about it, I didn't grab for it again. I just didn't really feel like using it. It's fine and I think a lot of people are still gonna like it, but I think I could live without the shimmers and just have those 2 mattes. I would be very happy with that. I just thought that this was gonna be really special, really shimmery, but it doesn't compare to other eyeshadow formulas. So another one that you might be kind of surprised about, because I feel like a lot of people love this formula and love this particular highlighter. That's a Mars Melter highlighter by Kaleidos. This is one of Angelica Nyqvist favorites. That's why I bought it. It's really shimmery. So if you buy this, you have to like a shimmery highlighter. And it's also quite dark. And I feel like if it were either lighter but shimmery or less shimmery but the same color, I would have liked it more. I just feel like I really see orange specks of glitter on my cheeks and I don't feel like it's flattering. I'm wearing it right now and now it looks really shiny, it looks really good, like on camera or in low light, it looks really good. But when I just look at it in the mirror when it's sunny out and it's just daylight, I can really see the specks of glitter and I don't love that. So in some situations I like it, but in others I just think it doesn't look good. I think this would be better for someone with a bit of a deeper skin tone or someone who really likes a glittery highlight. It could also be the case that I don't completely understand how I should apply this. Today I applied it a little bit more lightly and I like it a little bit more, but I can still see those shimmers on my face. And I feel with other shimmery highlights that I've tried, I could blend it in a little bit more. So this is not really a quality issue, but it's just not my personal preference. Then this highlighter brush by Kaleidos. I also got this in my Kaleidos order. I thought I was gonna love this, but I feel like the shape just isn't perfect for me. I feel like this part is just a little bit too dense, and I usually like applying my highlight with that part of the brush. I like going like this. I feel like that doesn't really work with any of the highlights that I've tried this with. Maybe I don't really understand this brush, but my other brush that I always use for highlighter, the Real Techniques setting brush, I like a lot more than I like this one. For now, I just haven't found a way I like to use it. I don't know if it's a brush or my technique, but it's just not fluffy enough for me at the sides. I feel like then I would like it a little bit more. It's really like a straight brush, like the hairs on the sides are really long, and then here on top you have a little bit of that fluffiness. Maybe I should try using it like this a little bit more, but I'm used to applying my highlighter like that. Maybe in the future I will find some other ways to use those products. Maybe I will find a way that I actually come to like them, but for now they are in the don't love them category. So this eyeshadow palette I was quite positive about, but I wasn't in love in my first impression. I feel like from this category I like this one the most, and that is the Artist Couture Ethereal Bloom palette. In my video I kept calling it Ethereal Blooms, but it's definitely Ethereal Bloom. So we have these pastel eyeshadows, we have 8 pastel eyeshadows, and we have 4 shimmers, 4 mattes. I did a few looks with this palette. I actually enjoy the mattes. I think they're quite nice. I didn't have anything to complain about that, but the shimmers are just a bit dry. I didn't love them. I didn't feel like they worked well. It's really hard to get them to really show up on the eye. They just look really soft. They're just not really creamy or pigmented. I bought this palette partially because I saw really beautiful swatches of these shimmers, but I don't really get how they did those swatches because that's not what I get on my eye, at least. I also tried these shimmers with a glitter glue, but I just felt like it did make the color stand out a little bit more on my eye, and then I didn't like mind it. But it still wasn't like super shimmery, nice and pretty. The shimmers don't live up to my expectations, and that's why I can't really say I love this one and I can't really recommend this one. I did like the end result of the looks that I did, so I'm still happy that I got this palette. It's still something that I like. But I especially like the mattes, and the shimmers are like fine and I can make them work, but I don't feel like for the price that I paid for this I should have to make shimmers work. I do like the tones of the shimmers, so that's why I still kind of like them. Like I used that bright pink, the more cool toned pink shimmer on my lid the other day. I used it with a glitter glue, and when I looked at the end result I was like, it's a nice look. But I just feel like the quality isn't the best. I can't really say that you have to buy this one. It's just an okay palette. I definitely have mixed feelings. I'm not sad that I got it, but I'm definitely not gonna say that you have to get it. So that's everything for the category that was kind of disappointing. Now let's move on to the category that was good. So first up we have this MAC Black Cherry Collection blush in the shade Room to Bloom. This is also what I'm wearing on my cheek right now. So I'm wearing the Mars Melter highlight and then I used this blush. It's a nice blush. It's not really pigmented, but you can definitely build it up. It has a sheen, it doesn't have any shimmer in there, it isn't chunky on the cheeks, looks quite natural, it blends in. I do think that this isn't the blush for you if you like a really pigmented blush. Like I've seen some mixed reviews, some people that didn't really like this collection and the blushes in there. If you are more of a fair to light skin tone like I am, you'll probably like it if you like a glowy blush. But if you're much deeper than me, I wouldn't recommend this one. Next up is this blush brush by Kaleidos. I actually quite enjoy this one. I think it's a nice shape and I think it's a nice size because my face is quite small and most blush brushes that I see that I've tried are too big for my face. Like when I start applying blush, it gets everywhere. I can't really like place it in a certain spot, it just goes all over my face. So I did like this one for applying blush. It is quite a fluffy brush, and it's a brush that doesn't apply your blushes really pigmented. So it's a nice one if you have a really pigmented blush and you want to like diffuse it a little bit more and you don't want the application to be too harsh. But if you have a more lightly pigmented blush, as for example that MAC blush, then maybe you want to grab for a blush that is a little bit more dense. I think that will apply your blush a bit more pigmented. So with some blushes I will definitely grab for this one, use this one, but I don't love it for every blush, so that's why it's in the good category. Then I did a video where I tried out a bunch of Lethal Cosmetics single eyeshadows. They had a sale, I ordered a lot, I just wanted to try them out. And I got a lot of matte single eyeshadows, but I also got a few shimmers. Why this is in the good category and not in the ultimate favorites category is I love the mattes. They are great, they are blendable, they are pigmented. Even the really light pastel ones I loved working with. But the shimmers aren't my favorite. I didn't buy a lot of shimmers, so I'm not too sad about it. But still, because of that, I can't really like recommend this brand and their single eyeshadows as a whole. It's like if you like a softer shimmer, sure, you can go for this. These shimmers are soft, they are not that special, they don't have any texture or dimension to them. So if that's something you like, go for it. But I personally just wasn't that impressed. I tried the shimmers wet, I tried the shimmers with glitter glue, and I just felt that made them look really chunky. It didn't really look flattering on the eyes, so I don't really like that method. I did feel like, for example, this green shimmer was drier than this champagne shimmer over here. I felt like this one was a little bit more creamy on the eyes, and I did like the look with that one a bit more. I just have so many beautiful shimmers in my collection, and I don't feel like this is really what you should go for when ordering from Lethal. Like their mattes, A++, would definitely recommend, go for them. I would say if you order from them, maybe just go for their mattes and then buy 1 or 2 shimmers and see how you feel about it. So yeah, I did really like trying this brand, but I wasn't completely blown away. Now we're getting into the tippy top favorites category, and these are the products I'm really excited about, that I really loved wearing since I got them. First up, I got this Maybelline Knockout highlighter. I don't know if this is like widely available anymore. This is a pink to gold duochrome highlighter from Maybelline, and they had this Puma collection limited edition. I still found it online. Maybe you can still find it online. I'm not entirely sure. Did want to mention it because I really love this as a blush topper. It gives such a healthy champagne gold shimmer to the cheeks. It gives a little bit of color. I just loved wearing this. It's just a great formula. You might see a speck of shimmer here and there, but it really isn't chunky on the cheeks. And I feel like the Maybelline highlighter formula is a very hyped up, but it isn't the most shiny one. But because of that, this really works well as a glowy blush. It isn't too stark on the cheeks, it just looks very flattering. Definitely a favorite. Next up, I got another highlighter by Clinique. This is the shade Lunar Pop or Flower Pop. I'm not entirely sure what is the deal with this highlighter. It was limited edition, but maybe now it's in the permanent collection. At least it's always available on the Dutch Clinique website. This is a Beaujolais formula, and I just really love this type of formulas. I just really love this shade. It's a nice champagne that has a little bit of pink and peach in there, and that's just what I really love when it comes to highlighters. I just think this is such a beautiful product. Just looking at it, but also applying it to the skin, I just think it's really flattering. I don't think this can beat my Nebula Skin Glazing highlighter, but it's definitely a good one, and I've definitely enjoyed wearing this one. This is one I would definitely recommend if you're into Beaujolais highlighters that can be a bit more natural on the skin, or you can build them up. Then I also tried this Hourglass blush. This one is in the shade Sublime Flush. In my first impression, I wasn't entirely sure how I felt about it, and I applied it before my bronzer. I applied it with a different technique. Shouldn't have done that. I should have just worn this the way I always wear my blush, because then it's just easier to say if you like it or not. So since then, I've actually used this quite a lot of times, quite a few times, and I think it's a beautiful product. It just looks so beautiful on the skin. It just makes your skin look so like blurred and pretty. There's just something about this baked formula that makes your skin look good without any foundation or concealer or anything like that. And that's what I love to see in blushes, because I don't really wear foundation, but I love to put something on my cheeks to make them just look a little bit blurred. And this one does really give that to me. And I just think it's also a really beautiful color. It's like a light coral, but it has a bit of a lilac-y cool tone sheen in it. But it's not like shimmery on the cheeks. It just looks like a natural glow, like a healthy flush. So is this worth the price? I'm definitely happy that I got this one. I think it's a beautiful product. I think if you're usually a fan of baked products and the effect that they give, then this one is definitely a nice one. But maybe try to get it on a sale. If you're looking for a formula that's kind of similar to the Hourglass formula, then you can check out the Max Factor Creme Puff blushes. Those I also really love, and those are also kind of like those baked blushes that have a little bit of a marble in them, so you get that glow as well. So if you don't want to spend the money of this, I absolutely understand. There are cheaper alternatives. Now I actually have 2 eyeshadow palettes left, and both of these really blew my socks off, really blew me away and made me so excited to use them. Both of these I really love, but they're both different but also work well together. First up, the Glamlite Ice Cream Dream palette that I also mentioned in my spring favorites. This is just such a beautiful palette. I love the shimmer formula in here. I think you get a lot of nice options. I really loved working with these matte pastels as well. I just think it's such a cute palette, and it's definitely worth the price because you just get all the options, beautiful formulas, and the packaging is also really cute. It's always hard to show on camera, but this is just cutest packaging as well, and it isn't too bulky. And I would definitely recommend this one over the Ethereal Bloom for sure, because this just gives you great quality and it gives you all the options. I did say in my video, maybe if you're not that into pastels, don't grab a palette that is this big. So that's kind of up to you, but I love this one. This palette I think might be the best makeup product for 2021 already. I'm not sure how anything is gonna top this, because this is just so good. Like, looking at palettes, but also looking at makeup and beauty overall, this is just perfection in my eyes. And this is of course the Club Nebula palette from Kaleidos and Angelica. This is also what I'm wearing on my eyes. I did a palette bingo. This is kind of like a spoiler, but this is just perfection. These colors just inspire me so much. It's like you have so many options when it comes to colors, but it's not hard to think of a look. It just all works so well together. It's just so well thought out. I just love the aesthetic of it. I love the quality. Like, these shimmers are so dimensional. I love pairing this one with Glamlite because I can kind of deepen up a look, but I can also grab one of these shimmers and kind of top off the look and make it just a little bit more special. I adore this palette. I think it's so good. It's restocking on the 14th. If you're interested in this one, check out the time zones. Like, the times is gonna be restocked on Angelica's Instagram. I think she posted it over there. I really don't know how anything is gonna be better than this one this year. This took me by surprise and it did live up to my expectations, and it was even better than that. So those were all the updates for these products. Most of these I really enjoyed and I'm just excited to use them even more. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!